Okay, great. I had the pleasure of introducing Senator Tim Kaine today, and Senator Kaine began his career in public office in 1994 and served on the Richmond City Council, and then as mayor, and then lieutenant governor, and then governor before being elected to his first term in the United States Senate in 2012. And during his tenure as governor, Senator Kaine's leadership brought Virginia national recognition for being the best state in America for business, for being the best managed state in America, and also for being the state where a child is most likely to have a successful life. Senator Kaine now serves on the Armed Services Committee, the Budget Committee, and the Aging Committee and the Foreign Relations Committees, and is a ranking member of the Armed Services Readiness Subcommittee. Senator Kaine is also a founder and co-chair of the Career and Technical Education Caucus, which is a bipartisan caucus to focus on improving access to career and technical education for programs to ensure that students of all ages are prepared to take on the challenges required for filling jobs in the 21st century. So please join me in welcoming Senator Kaine.
Hey, thank you and good afternoon. It's so good to be here with good friends. And Tom, thank you for your kind words, your introduction, and welcome McGraw-Hill to the Virginia Chamber of Commerce to bury my friend. My Senate office in Richmond is right next door to the Chamber, so we can keep tabs on each other and communicate very well. But Barry, thank you for the invite. I'm going to be speaking at the Chamber Luncheon in Williamsburg in about 10 days, and so I'm going to give a very short speech. I was proud to be a supporter of a 2-year budget deal. I think we're normalizing 2-year budgets rather than 1 year, taking a good idea from the state. A deal that turns sequester from a straitjacket into kind of a starting point, and I think that's the way we ought to look at it going forward. Proud to support the trade deal as it came through earlier in the summer. We'll talk more about that in December, but I also, really what I have on my heart is also the aftermath of last week. I've been in meetings all morning, Armed Services and Foreign Relations Committee meetings on it, and look, the Armed Services and Foreign Relations missions are pretty important in Virginia. We're the most militarily connected state in the country. Tom is a veteran. Tom, thank you for your service. Many in the room have ties to the military. I do. And, you know, when you see a bombing in Beirut, when you see a plane down in the Sinai with passengers who are enjoying a vacation, when you see this bombing and shooting in Paris, it's grim. I tell you, the thought that has kind of grabbed my mind as I've thought about it over the weekend is, like probably a lot of you, when you saw the bombing in Paris, you probably thought, who do I know? Do I have a family member? Do I have a friend? Is there somebody I work with or used to work with? And a lot of us were trying to track somebody down. My niece is a law student who's there for a semester at the Sciences Po in Paris. Before she went to law school, she was in the Peace Corps in Cameroon, and within a year of coming home from Cameroon, the village that she lived in was basically wiped out by Boko Haram, the people who were her neighbors and protectors and friends, killed by that terrorist group. And now she's in Paris, and she was in the restaurant district when the shooting occurred to hear the gunshots, and she's safe. We were able to figure that out pretty quickly. But I spent my weekend thinking about her and kids of her age, and a lot of us have kids in that age, right? I got 25 to 20-year-olds, and she's 26. And I started to think about Elizabeth. To me, these extreme events still are the aberration. The norm is an everyday reality where we're safe and secure, and the horrible events of 9/11 or the horrible events are the aberration. I guess that was how I was raised, but I kind of feel like for my niece, for my kids who've come up post 9/11, this is the norm. War is the norm. Terrorist events are the norm. Mass shootings at community colleges or elementary schools or malls are kind of the norm. And boy, as a leader, what a challenge that is to kind of think that for so many of our young people in this country and all over the world, that is now kind of the norm. That really has to call us to work even harder and do even better. The one little thing that I'm really trying to work hard on, I don't think Congress should be ignoring this war on ISIL. We've been in it for 16 months. We've spent $5 billion. We've lost 10 service members. 4 American hostages have been killed. We've run over 6,000 airstrikes, and Congress hadn't said a word about it. The President started this war on August 8th, 2014. Congress has been silent. We're not supposed to be at war without a vote of Congress. It was a Virginian, James Madison, that put that into our Constitution. And what I worry about is congressional inaction is basically a desire to criticize the president, but neither vote to authorize or stop or refine what he's doing. And by taking that path, basically saying, look, it's not our fingerprints on it. I don't think we can avoid accountability by hiding under our desks. And when you have a war debate, which is the most sober debate that you'll ever have, then you educate the American public about the stakes. You make the administration answer really tough questions. I think there's a lot wanting in the administration's strategy right now, but we don't get them up and really, cross-examine them. We just criticize them. But no, we got to ask them tough questions, and then we have to do our job. And if we do that, we'll educate the American public. We will show a sign of resolve to allies and especially to adversaries. But the most important thing we'll do is this. We will tell 3,600 people who were serving thousands of miles away from here and away from their families during the holiday season, who are risking their lives, that we have their back. Because if we make them go risk their lives, but oh wait, we don't want to vote. I mean, we don't have a debate. I mean, that's the height of public immorality to make people risk their lives without being willing to do our jobs. If we have the debate and we say this is in the national mission, then they volunteered and they should risk their lives. And they will, and they'll willingly do it. But to make them do it without us having the debate and saying, yes, this is in the national interest is just, it's outrageous. I get goosebumps every time I talk about this. I'm so angry about it. Now, you hate that tragedies might force you to do a good thing. So much better to do the right thing before there's a tragedy that drags you into it. But I think the mutating nature of this threat, an ISIL that was in Iraq and Syria when we started, and now it's in Afghanistan, Yemen, Libya, Somalia, Boko Haram, and Cameroon pledging allegiance to ISIL, the threats mutating, bombings in the Sinai and Paris and in Beirut. The threat is growing and expanding. They're not going away. They're threatening to take action in Washington. So I hope that may force us to do the job that the framers of the Constitution determined that we should do. And we get off the sidelines and stop just being critics, but actually play the role that we're supposed to play. So that's what I'm working on. I look forward to being back with you on the 4th of December to dig into a lot of the issues. Thanks.